Everything old scratch. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Justin M. Bailey here. And talking to you from my basement, which, and my basement and my den. Before I've joked on this channel, I've called it Outpost 31 because I'm such a huge fan of John Carpenter's The Thing, and also the original story, which I just discovered, just unearthed lately. I'd like to talk about that soon. But of course, the ironic thing is, we all know, I used to say it in jest, welcome to Outpost 31, this little tiny isolated place in the middle of a Arctic wilderness of sorts. And yeah, for all of us, that's pretty true. All of us are going to be living in our own Outpost 31s of sort. I hope that doesn't sound too incredibly grim. It's, I feel pretty bad for a lot of reasons. Well, there's lots of reasons why I'm prepared, and I'll show you, but I'm definitely emotionally prepared because they always talk about two of the biggest things you've got to do is avoiding large gatherings and social distancing. Well, it's like, well, fuck, I've been preparing for this virus for quite a long time. Me and my wife laughed our heads off about that. And it's so funny that she and I have always joked we're such isolationists that the neighbors used to tease that I was secretly a Russian spy and she secretly worked for North Korea. We're super isolated people, and I know even if you have all the supplies in the world, that is going to be the toughest part for people, because I've said over and over again on this channel, we're not built for that. We very much associate solitude and being separate from people with death. So that, I would say, yes, even if you have all the supplies, and my heart seriously goes out for you. I will say also to anybody feeling that, it's also an opportunity to, frankly, get to know yourself. Because, I mean, like, I think last video when I was talking about drinking, I said, I'm a pretty lonely guy. That's true, but that's also, that's also pretty chosen. Because loneliness, it teaches you, first of all, to get to know yourself. You really should fucking get to know yourself. You're you, and also get to know what you want. But also, it's just, we all have so many talents and skills. And, being away from the warmth of good company, you find other ways to keep yourself warm. There's lots of fantastic ways out there. So I hope if you are suffering from isolation, my heart sincerely goes out to you. I promise you, I know what that feels like unspeakably well. That's, I think I have a PhD on that subject. Thank you very much. So, but, think of it as an opportunity to try and explore new things, and not just what's on Netflix and Amazon. Read books, maybe order a guitar from Jeff Bezos, maybe give it a good alcohol spray if you can. My point is, as tough as that part will be, I think it's also an opportunity. Or at least I think, unless it's a meteor hitting the Earth or Terminator artificial intelligent robots wiping out the Earth, I think every tough situation is an opportunity to see ways how you can make it good for yourself, if that makes any sense. Living sober now, for some reason, my vocabulary, I think it might be going to shit. I hope that's okay. But yeah, so my heart goes out to you. Otherwise, and not just because I'm prepared for that, I'm feeling incredibly good about coronavirus, which is also, even though I'm a sober dude, only sober assholes drink seltzer and flaunt it. Even if I was still a drinker, I've always hated Corona. So I'm glad they named it after that. But I'm very prepared, and I'll get into it. But there's lots of reasons I'm feeling pretty good about this. But if anything, I hope this doesn't sound silly or blindly optimistic. I still feel like this is the time to be alive, frankly. I mean, let's not think of the moment. Let's think just in the entire 70,000 years of human history. This is still the time with COVID or whatever, where, I mean, if we had to take a bunch of disasters out of the hat, like global disasters, this is the one. It's not an asteroid hitting the Earth. It's 40 years from now, God knows what'll happen with artificial intelligence so far. But even then, damn, if we were alive in the Middle Ages, these viruses would be running rampant all the time. You couldn't drink the water. Nobles you might just piss off a noble and they might just kill you for whatever, or if they want your wife or your daughter. That's most of civilized history right there. I'm going to jump around, but for the fucking Cold War, 50 years, the potential nuclear war breaking out. I mean, fuck, right? You know, it never happened, but that's a scarier time to live. Or just the fact that most of human history, I say that a lot on this channel, but I do because I'll talk about that some other time. But this great book I read, War Before Civilization, that, and I recently read The Third Chimpanzee. Those are two books. It really gets to all about the human animal. That's what we are. And we were our most animalistic before civilization was invented. There's lots of huge criticisms and critiques you can give civilization, and especially Western civilization at large, but never miss the point that fucking lie that before the evils of many and civilization, we were all natives living in tribes singing Kumbaya. That is the biggest fucking lie. We were infinitely more murder happy, infinitely, even though there were smaller wars, way more wars with higher percentages of fatalities. But no, okay, we're living in, right now, the odds of us dying, 2%, okay? I will take those odds any day, because any other time in history, as we keep going back, these past 10,000 years of civilization, the past 70,000, oh, that percentage goes through the roof, let alone everything else. So yeah, in that perspective, hey, I'm fine. But I hope this is just a good wake-up call and a pee-pee slap for all of us, where it's, I think maybe to go the other side, perhaps we've had it good for too long, and this is something in the making, you know what I mean? I think what we should take out of all of this is this could happen again and again, and maybe not viruses, lots of other crazy shit. I think I did this video way back where I did one on Hillary Clinton and her book, and I said, we're in the age of insanity. That is 1,000,000% true. It's, right now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, it's this huge tectonic shift in history. And it's just, even without this virus, without Trump, I think so many things are going to be coming down the pipeline. So I think now's a good time to internally reflect. I'll get to know ourselves better and prepare. So I think those are the things I want you to get out of this video if you're watching. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the things I've done to prepare for this virus. And I did most of this preparation 3 weeks ago, and before that, even more preparation 2 weeks ago, because as I'll show you, I have been practicing always keeping extra supplies on hand. I've always set up my house where I have tons of extra wood. I have a nice fireplace insert to keep my house warm if we ever don't have power in the winter. And it's just one of those things where I think I would always describe myself as someone who most of the time I vote liberal, but I would never want to hang out with those people. And I agree with nothing conservative people politically think, and yet I would much rather sit down and have a beer with them, or a seltzer now in my case, because at least, even though there's so many philosophical things I don't agree with them, at least they are way less full of shit. And I promise you this, you gotta give your hats off to them and respect that. I promise you they are a lot better prepared than all of my my fellow brothers and sisters in our liberal camp. Okay, first of all, so this is anyways my spot anyways. You know, I was technically planning on isolation anyways, because I'm a stay-at-home dad and I've got another kid coming. So I basically set up this whole place anyways. Like, I realized because of next little kid, I wasn't going to be leaving this house anyways. So I wanted to build myself a spot, or put one together. Building implies hammers and nails. So yeah, no, this is my spot. You know, I think everybody's got to have a spot. You know what I mean? I like pinball. I swore a Hippocratic pinball oath that if anybody's at my house and says they want to play pinball, I am obliged to say yes. And but you can't live off pinball alone. So, you know, everybody's buying a buttload of paper towels and toilet paper, and I'm no different. And you know, you just want to have it. You know, you can't eat it, but you gotta have it. Really quick, you know, let me remind me. Well, first of all, just super quick story. I was stocking up over 2 weeks ago. And I remember there was this huge line going to the supermarket, and my butt puckered right up. Like, oh, fuck. Like, I was like, of course everybody's planning now, because it's coming. It's coming. And, well, no, it was just a funeral or something. And I was just like, and so I was like, oh, thank God. So I just like, I was, you know, you don't want to just look at toilet paper while I'm telling this quick story. Let's look at Iron Maiden. And it's like one of those things where it's just, I was casually and leisurely taking my sweet time, just getting everything I needed. And I was just like, so once again, I've been preparing not just commodity wise, but like emotionally for a very long time. I've been practicing this stuff for 2 years and it's not hard. So please, 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 if you're doing it right now for COVID, please keep doing it. Keep this stuff. I always have extra supplies. I have lots and lots of cans of San Marzano tomatoes. When you do dry storage, it's gotta be things you rotate. Do you know what I mean? It's gotta be stuff you always use, mostly, because it's just, otherwise the stuff goes bad. You know, cornstarch, I use that for lots of fried chicken, lots of karage or chicken parm, or just cornmeal, lots of kosher salt, oils for frying and cooking. 6 bags, I always have 6 bags of Japanese rice around. Really good stuff. And it's like, you know, you want lots of stuff like rice and flour, and I got powdered milk right there, and Crisco and salt and honey. These are things that never expire. So you really want to bulk it up. As I'll show you, I have enough food for 3 months easily. And just in case it really goes to shit, I got water. That's the one thing I feel, and club soda, because this is my non-alcoholic drink of choice. It's ridiculous how much water people are buying. I always have lots of water anyways, but because it's like, do you actually think this is going to be so bad that the water's not going to be working or the virus is going to spread for the water? That's stupid. And like, people aren't even buying these big jug containers. They're buying like, oh, I bought 24 bottles, and it's gone. So we got that over there. Over here, we got, and once again, this is not stuff I have to like calculate a lot. It's I bulked this up, but as people have seen this channel before, yes, I've always had a dry storage kicking around. And even before this happened, I was telling Yumi that before I knew anything about COVID, I told her once we got our tax return, I wanted to bulk this motherfucker up anyways, because before, this one over here, this was not here. This was an addition to my dry storage. And like, this is officially as big as it's going to get. This is as big as I can manage. And I basically have at least 3 months of food. And for me, if I need 3 months more of food, that means shit is really fucking hitting the fan. And it probably means I got to get the fuck out anyways. So this is as big as my dry storage is going to get. Here's phase 2. Let's go back to phase 1. Phase 3, profit. Profit! And, okay. I stocked up very casually, very leisurely 2 weeks ago with everybody, you know, just crowding the place and crawling all over each other, spreading their COVID to one another. And here, look, I got stuff I'm gonna eat. And it's like, God, I hate canned food. But just in case, like, and every now and then, like, okay, this shows it's been 2 weeks since I stocked up, because every week I eat a can of this garbage once again to keep all this garbage rotating. Because once again, after this disaster is complete, I'm going to keep canned food rolling, but I'm going to try and find canned food that's a bit tastier. All right? Canned food. Canned, what's that called? Fruit? Man, sobriety is killing my vocabulary. All right, we got panko breadcrumbs. Those crackers in case we get really sick and that's all we can eat. A secret stash of Japanese chocolate-covered almonds I am not telling my wife about. They are mine. They're daddy's little reward. Curry mix. Sugar. Flour. Lots of flour. It's a really good idea to learn the ins and outs of if bread is too intimidating, and I've never made a successful sourdough loaf in my life, sourdough pizza is fantastic. It's insanely simple. With these, you can easily make lots of flatbreads and pizzas, and I totally recommend it. Got all that, lots of pastas, lots of cereals, more waters, a map I'm still procrastinating and never finishing. New addition. I recently, past 2 weeks ago, I got this mini fridge, and so add, I stocked it up with cheese and butter. We got American slices. We got some pepperoni when I start making homemade pizzas next week. Lots of eggs. Butter, cheese, mozzarella, as they say in, I think, western upstate New York. You know, little frozen 2 cheese sticks for the daughter. We got more. Let's go upstairs. In the freezer, I got rid of all of those stupid microwave frozen foods. I stocked it up with lots and lots of meat. All the chicken thighs we eat, we do so many things with chicken thighs. We got pork, we got giant roast beefs in the back. We got a big thing of hamburger meat right there, one thing of ribs in case I want some ribbage. 2 giant packs of Japanese sausages, you know, and some frozen food. And one last thing over here. Oh, it's still recording. Okay. And I have lots of extra dog food downstairs and milk bones for puppy. And I got a couple of extra bags of garlic, onions, and potatoes. And a couple of extra juices, juice boxes, and lots of candies and snacks to keep my daughter happy. You know, it's not just about getting what you need to survive. You got to keep everybody happy too. So I hope this video in some way helped some people out. So that's it. This is like literally, we are going to be living in isolation for possibly a month. So I'll keep you posted on all of this, but I hope I've encouraged everybody to feel that we are all totally going to be on the other side of this before you know it. And it's unknown, but of all the disastrous unknowns we could have picked out of the hat, this is the best one. This is still the best time ever to be alive. And if there's one thing I would like us all to get out of this video and this entire experience is the importance of getting to know yourself and being prepared. It's the only way to get through these troubled times. I'm Justin M. Bailey. Yeah, fuck you too. Fuck you too! Failure is an option.
Failure is an option, but fear is not.
His name is James Cameron, the bravest pioneer.
You think he's dead? I hope so.